Yo. We're live. We're back. I'll let y'all kind of start to jump on here. Happy Tuesday, everybody. What's up? What up? What's good, instafam? It's a beautiful day. Another beautiful day out here in the Hollywood Hills. What's going on? Yo, what's up, Oren? So good to see you, brother. Oh, man, I'm so happy that you're here. All right, guys, so real quick, I just want to know, what is your first name and where are you from? So comment below your first name and where you're from. I want to see where the tribe is at all over the world. I know you guys are all coming in from, so I just want to say thank you. So much gratitude for you guys taking a little bit of time to jump on with me. I have a really dear friend, client, guest that's going to be jumping on live with us who is a subconscious specialist and healer. I'll talk to you guys about that in a second. But we got Gemma, let's see, from the UK. We got Mo from New York. What's good, Mo? Good to see you on here. What's poppin'? I see Kitty Catch is in here. Good to see you again. We got Jay from England. What's up, Michael? How are you? Good to see you all jumping on. Yes, we got Ramone from Jamaica. Shout out to Jamaica. We got Gerard from India. I love it. I cannot wait to visit India. We got Porshia in Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia. We got Miracle from Nigeria. What a name. And so cool. You're in Nigeria. Your name's Miracle. I think that's so dope. We got Ismael from D.C., we got Flo from Paris, another dope-ass name. We got some cool-ass names in the tribe right now. Dan from Toronto. We got Joyce from Park, Florida. We got Morocco in the house. We got India still in the house. Kuranjot. We have Emily Empathy from San Diego. We got black people in the house. Shout out to all my black people. We got South Africa in the house. Los Angeles. Yes, L.A. I'm out here. What's going on? What's up, Jacobs? How you doing, man? We got New Jersey reppin'. That's where I'm from. That's what I'm talking about. So everybody, drop one word of how you're feeling. It's Tuesday. We had a powerful start to the week. One word. How are you feeling right now in this very moment? You know, coming into Tuesday, how are you feeling? I think my word is, honestly, I'm motivated right now. I have this new sense of motivation coming into this week. I don't know if it was because of the new moon last night or because I just got back from seeing my entire family, or just because I feel so aligned with my passion, with my purpose. I feel just so motivated to serve right now, especially because I just got back from camping and I was in Mother Nature. So Oren says infinite. Oh, I love it. I live it. Let's see, productive, blessed. We got tuned, ecstatic, thankful. I love that. Satisfied. I feel like Black Lives. Oh, man, that's got to go. Let's see. We got disciplined, cool, feeling fantastic, contemplating, grateful. I love it. Anointed. Woo. Anointed. Wow, that's so powerful. Oh, man, anointed. I feel we're all anointed. You know, we're all chosen. You know, so I'm just to be doing God's work, to be out here serving, to be spreading love, spreading light, doing the work, right? Amazing, inspired, blessed. We're commenting one word about how you're feeling right now. Clarity, that's huge. I think a lot of people right now are lacking clarity, so I think that's amazing that you're feeling clarity. All right, cool, grateful. So guys, so check it out. I'm going to bring on I was doing these every single day, bringing on guests. I've been slowing it down just because I had to really go and see family and just be present with some of my family and people that are in my life because it was quarantined for 7 months. But I got this live streams going again, and I have a special guest. Her name is Jenna, Sophia. She is a subconscious expert. She is a client of mine. She is a friend of mine. She has literally done healing on me as well. So I've actually been a customer of hers. She works with Fortune 500 CEOs, entrepreneurs, and she really practices both like using quantum physics as well as ancient practices. So I'm really excited to bring her on, everybody. We're going to really talk about the energetics of entrepreneurs. So let's see if she's on here right now. Yes, she is. So any flower emoji for Jenna Sophia right now to welcome her. Drop flower emojis for Jenna, all right? Drop some flower emojis for me. If you can, either that or hearts. Yo, yes. Jenna, what's up? So good to see you on here. You look beautiful. You look vibrant. You're just
I
look
feel
amazing. So good to see you.
the sun, so there's something about the sun here that just makes me feel alive.
Oh, that's right. So you just left New York and you just came to LA. So you're in LA right now?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Look at all the flowers coming in for you. I love it. We got a lot of flowers coming in for you to send you love. You know what's really cool? Jenna actually has, guys, this product that she custom makes for her clients. And she's giving it to me. I'm just want to show them this real quick since we got all the flowers coming in for you. Look at this right here, this bottle. It's literally, Jenna, what is this? Because it says my name and it's Gerard's Flower Essences. So
Yeah.
what is this that you make?
Yeah, so flowers, the plant kingdom has a lot of wisdom, and we are energy beings. There's a way in which we can actually extract the essence of the flower, the vibrational wisdom. I have mine here too. And
I want flower wisdom right now.
yeah, and essentially they recircuit your energy in different ways. So there are flowers for many different things. There are flowers for abundance, for helping people with sickness during pregnancy, you know, with their bones. Like they're literally a flower for anything. The plant kingdom is so open and for us to use if we know how to access it. So I made you a little bit of a mix of just a support mix of what you were going through. So I just tapped into your energy a little bit and saw what you were needing, and I wrote like that whole description. So you have a whole list. I think it's like
I know you sent
pretty.
like a whole like breakdown of every single one. So thank you so much. So let's talk. Let's talk about. So first and foremost, what do you? Because I know you have different, like just different containers that you've created. It's like Awaken Self. You have something called Energetics of Entrepreneurs, and that was the one that I really wanted to jump on live and talk about because I have a huge entrepreneurial community. I've been
Yeah.
an entrepreneur for 18 years, and that really I felt, that really felt called to talk about that because, I mean, you deal with the subconscious, right? And it's like throughout my entire career, I've continued to try to reach new levels, new levels, new levels. But I always say like new levels, new devils. And
Mm.
I don't think people really understand what I mean by that, right? But I want to kind of get your take on the fact that like we all are trying to reach our full potential throughout
Mhm.
our lives.
Yeah.
And as entrepreneurs, we're so called to solve some of the world's like biggest problems. Like right now humanity needs us to break out of the box and to be the ones that are going out there and leading and creating these new solutions to help our planet, to help the education system, to help so much of what's going on. But for whatever reason, I don't know if you guys feel this way. A lot of times we get in our own way. Like I know for me, as I've continued to try to push forward and just lead and build these businesses and continue to reach my full potential, a lot of times the biggest thing that I face, challenge, forget about all the fires I got to put out externally and building a team and all that stuff. It's like a lot of times it's my own inner critic.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of jam with you on that a little bit, but why don't you just tell me how you describe the essence of energetics of entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, I think if someone is even deciding to be an entrepreneur, you're a trailblazer, you are an innovator, you think differently, you think outside of the box, what the status quo is in the world that we live in, right? So that takes a certain type of mindset. It takes a certain type of heart set as well. And those two connected to make sure that you're really living out your mission and your values in the way that you've intended. See, a lot of the time I've seen with entrepreneurs is no matter what stage they are, whether they're just the beginning or they've made billions of dollars, but I see one common thread, and it's that the growth continues no matter what level you. So what someone might have a problem with beginning stage of entrepreneurship is very similar to the stages of, let's say, a more seasoned entrepreneur. And I see that it's just a frequency of thought in terms of what people are actually coming up against when it comes to roadblocks or difficulties in reaching that next ascension or that next level. So I really look at the energetics of an entrepreneur as really being something that has a lot to do with alignment and a lot to do with the awareness of what energy you're putting out into the world and what energy you want to actually create as a representation of an extension of your source energy. So that's how I see it.
Wow, powerful. Yeah, I think I feel like that's so aligned with how I see the world as like what I want to create and the energy that I want to put out. But I feel no matter, like I was just asking everybody, drop a word, one word, like how they're feeling right now. And ultimately, I believe that, you know, how we feel internally and the energy that we are actually like, like really just carrying in our hearts, you know, and in our souls, and how we really see ourselves, and what we put in our bodies, how we see ourselves, how we treat ourselves, the thoughts we have. Um,
Yeah.
you know, that's a reflection. The external is like a reflection of all of that, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we
I
entrepreneurs can like really neglect that side because they're
Yes,
just so like hustling, going forward, and wanting to push forward.
exactly. And I think that there's a lot of focus when you're an entrepreneur of thinking of the doing, all the action taking. But
Yeah.
people in this day and age, if you're going to go down that route, there really needs to be a certain alignment and awareness of the thoughts that you have, of the mindset that you carry, because that really determines your success. Like I've always said, success is an energetic game. It's 90% mindset and 10% action. So you could, again, same thing, saying I'm doing all eyes. I'm, I'm trying, and nothing's manifesting for me. The subconscious um, that you have going are actually preventing you from reaching that new level or reaching that new stage of success in your career.
So, what are some of the since you work with a lot of entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 CEOs, like what are the common things that you see that they face that really, you know, that you feel like you've helped them to release?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I would say that, a lot of times when people come to me for business issues, right, or like they're wanting to manifest more money or they're wanting to manifest more clarity and all of these things that will help them in their career, it's actually other areas of their life that are needing to be focused on, create alignment in the whole body and mind, if that makes sense. So let's say someone wanted to come to me for money, or like they're trying to get more funding and they're trying to manifest more funding. So how do I do this, right? And then when we dive in and we dig deeper, we find that maybe they might have a relationship issue with a parent or with their spouse or with a business partner. And that's actually creating this energetic mismatch of frequency of manifesting that thing that they want in their career. So it's all like a big web, and you kind of have to make sure that you're looking at the right beliefs and you're looking at the right angles, because it's not, everything isn't what it seems, right? So we kind of have to go below the surface and dig a little bit deeper to figure out, okay, well, if you're not having this channel open, why isn't that open? Let's see what other channels in your life are flowing and aligning, because that will have something to do for sure with the energy of what they're trying to manifest. So definitely a lot of stuff with money, a lot of stuff with more fulfillment and feeling guilt, like less guilty for the work that they do. And like, sometimes you have to make sacrifices with your time and your energy and things like that. So really working on creating more of a balance within their lives so that they don't feel like they are missing something in their life, and they want more of a grounded sense of being in their career and in their life.
Dope. I'm curious for all of you that are listening right now. Comment a one if you feel like right now you have an energetic block. You're looking to manifest something in your life, whether it's relationships, love, money, and you just feel like there's something that there is a block. You've been feeling it, but you haven't been able to pinpoint. Comment two if you feel like you're in the flow of life. Like right now, like you feel like you have done the work, you have shed. There's always more work to do, but you feel like you are truly right now manifesting what you dream of and what you want in life. So wow, we got a lot of ones coming in. That's so cool. So like, all right, where should we take it from here, Jenna? Maybe we should like maybe ask like what is I'm just curious. Like what
Oh, I
are
my people here. Hey guys.
yo, we got a lot of people here that need some energetic clearings. That's so dope. Well, hey guys, she does these amazing things called upgrades where she will literally work with you, and she does a lot of distant work where she can help you clear that. But Jenna, I'm just curious, like maybe I'm always interested to do this work. Like you guys, if you follow me, like I'm always doing this work. Like I've personally worked with Jenna, but I just always feel like there's more for me to discover of where these blocks are in me so that I can continue again, like, so I can continue to reach new levels of impact, influence, income in my life. And I've had to like do some deep work to figure out, like, for one, scarcity was a big thing for me. Like I had a family heritage that there was a moment of like survival, right? I'm Native American, and you know, I'm also Colombian, and my family from Italy, they immigrated here, and we didn't have anything. We had to like fight for everything. So that kind of runs in my bloodline, and I saw a lot of that growing up, where we had abundance of love, and I had an amazing childhood, but there was this, you know, fear of there's lack of money. And that was a huge thing that I've had to energetically release
Mm-hmm.
my life in order for me to start to manifest new, you know,
Yeah.
new levels of wealth, for
Now,
sure.
talk about that a little bit, because you talk about the ancestral relation to scarcity mindset, and also just with everyone. I don't think anyone pops out and like, you know, is feeling scarce. I think that is
Right.
developed time, right? And so because when we're a child, you know, all of our needs need to be met. We can't actually take care of ourselves. So we rely on the external world to tell us how much we're going to be supported in life and in what way that is. Now, not everyone has the skills or the things to really help us survive in a way that will create and cultivate this abundance mindset, right? And so it's important to know that the subconscious, which governs pretty much all of your behaviors, thoughts, anything that you're going to take action on, is actually rooted from conscious. So you might think, oh, I'm using my conscious mind, I'm doing this work, like, oh no, I'll, you know, send like 1,000 emails and of course something's gonna hit, like of course I'm gonna get a client. And the thing is, it doesn't work like that, right? So we
What do
really
you
have
mean? Come on, we're good at marketing. Of course.
to, well, it
Yeah,
could
go ahead.
work for you if your beliefs are aligned with that working for you, right? But I'm
Yeah,
talking about the
yeah,
difference between push and force and actual alignment and
yeah.
inspiration, taking action from that place. So the thing about the subconscious that I just want to hone in on a little bit is that this part of our brain, which basically governs everything that we do, is pretty much solidified 95% by the age of 7. So what this means,
Wow.
are basically running on a pilot of beliefs of basically an old system. So imagine when you're trying to like work on a computer, right? Imagine if you like picked up a very old Mac and you were trying to actually do work on it. It would probably be very hard, right, to make things happen. So think of your brain in the same way. You're trying to make things happen, but you're working on old program software. So what do you have to do in order to actually transcend that? You have to put in a new program. You have to reprogram the part of your brain that is governing all your behaviors and your thoughts and your feelings, so that you can actually align with what it is that you want to achieve in your life in all areas.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I, you know, I really believe in that. I really believe, you know, we you know, for whatever reason, this is why I'm so passionate about with the youth as well, because it's like they don't teach this in school. Like they don't even teach you how to believe in yourself, or what your beliefs are, or where they come from. They really don't teach this in school, and that's why I think it's such important work for us to do this work now, to rewire, reprogram, you know, upgrade our operating system. But at the same time, it's like, it's a passion of mine, and it's definitely part of my purpose to get a lot of this knowledge and wisdom and these practices into the youth, because, you know, I know, you know, you have worked with some parents and their kids. I mean, it's unbelievable, like what that's even done. That it, not only does it help you if you're like 50 or 40 or 30 or 20, but like this goes, like it changes everything for you even at a young age, with it,
Yeah.
especially with our youth, with what they're going through with now
Yeah.
with technology, and you know, the comparison and the
Yeah.
endless scroll.
Because of the endless amount of programming that children have access to these days, like it's beyond the news. Like they can go on Instagram, Facebook, they can literally find anything on the internet. And because the brain of a child is so vulnerable, it's so easy to groom their reality and their beliefs, right? So why do you think it's like so common for like child soldiers to actually become a child soldier? They're not resisting what is, because they don't know any different, right? So it's like we learn from a young age what is right and wrong, and also what we can and cannot have. Like a child hears I can't, or you don't do that, or don't do that 20,000 times more than the word I can or yes you can. So
Right.
what does that do to the psyche when it actually becoming an adult and living in this world and having these dreams and aspirations, but feeling blocked when it comes to actually creating something physically from that energy and inspiration that you've been given? And
Yeah.
that's where the confusion happens, and that's where those blocks happen, because it's like, all right, I have a set of belief systems. They've served me for a certain point in my reality, but now I need to let go of them in order to spring forward into what I want to do in my life now. And a
Yeah.
lot of people forget that we kind of have to reflect on what is exactly do we believe and who made us believe that, right? I think those are really important questions that we have to ask ourselves when we feel limited or confused in life.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So I'm curious, everybody, comment below as far as like an aspect of your beliefs that you feel like may be blocked, that may be, holding you back from manifesting the next, whatever next level is for you. I'm curious if it's money, love, relationships, health, your spirituality. Like, out of those 5 categories, which one of those, money, love, relationships, health, and let's say spirituality, do you feel you need to refresh, to upgrade, to reboot those beliefs? I'm just curious. Comment below. And now, Jenna, I want to talk a little bit about, like, I know your work, is both with quantum physics as well as like ancient wisdom. And I want to just talk about, like, what is some of the science behind a lot of this, and what are some of the ancient practices that you work with for your clients that help them to release this. I see a lot of money coming in. We see some health, money, ancestral, spiritual, and money. Guys, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the vulnerability. I appreciate you guys being honest. Romantic relationships, money. So this is what's really cool, guys, right? Like, as soon as you start to acknowledge that, like, there's a subconscious pattern that's blocking you in that category, this is why we're so powerful. You have this unbelievable opportunity to work with the likes of Jenna, or even just you. I mean, Jenna, you have some practices that maybe that they can do even just at home to help them to release what those old beliefs are and step into the new quantum possibility that will allow them to manifest that love, that health, that that money that they always dreamed of.
Yeah, for sure. Should I go back to the part where you were talking about the different modalities and the science behind it and things like that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. We can start there and then kind of build into, we can even do a practice if you like.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think just for people to know, a really great bit of information is for people to look up the science of epigenetics. So the way that I got into this work is I've been in the healing space for over 15 years. I started doing energy healing when I was 11 years old. And this was all in the hopes of actually overcoming my physical conditions that I had that were really kind of overriding me and my body. And when I found the science of epigenetics, it's essentially this idea that you've heard this science that says our genes basically control our biology. We can't change our genes. If our parents have diabetes, then we'll have diabetes, and so on. But what's actually been discovered is that the genetic expression of our genes can be determined by the environment we put ourselves in. That's why perception is everything. Whatever you perceive in your environment, you mold to it and you become it. So it's really important to know that if you are in a limiting environment, check your beliefs. They probably reflect the environment that you're in, right? The people that you surround yourself with, the fulfillment you have in your career or in your love life or in your home life. These all have to do with the beliefs that we have stored, and we can actually shift these on a very cellular level, which is what I do. And that's why people that naturally just start to take action from this inspired place rather than this place of, okay, I'm doing the work, I'm hustling, let's go, let's get it. And that, I feel like, is a very outdated way of being an entrepreneur and being successful, because it's not going to be sustainable in the long term.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I've been caught in those situations for sure. And it's partly the reason why I moved to LA. I had to make a shift. I had to make a radical change in my environment. And it's shifted everything. Like I've shifted my relationships. I've completely changed my surroundings, my environment. And I've just started, I actually, one of the hardest parts for me was like actually taking a pause, like actually taking time to slow down and actually do this work. Like actually take the time to like ask these questions, ask for help.
So someone asked here, so if I change my environment, it could possibly help decrease inflammation. Would like to get this under control. So the way that the physical body works, and the way that I've worked with people in their physical body, is every condition has an emotional or spiritual symbolism. You don't just get sick, right? I feel like the physical body is the last thing to signal to you that, hey, something's going on. We actually have to fix this. So when you're working with the subconscious and you're working with people who are trained in, working with this part of your mind, you can actually figure out what the disease or the illness or the condition is actually trying to tell you. And then once you unearth that, you can create the necessary steps in overcoming it, because there's probably a belief system underlying that is causing whatever condition that you had. So just wanted to put that out there.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right. So I feel like, getting maybe into some of the practices. I know I've worked with you and we've gone pretty deep. So I know, like, it's not as, it actually takes us to kind of really, really drop in. But what do you think what are some resources or a practice that you think that that everyone here can kind of take in and maybe do something today, do something that they can actually like start to let go of a pattern, let go of a subconscious belief that's holding them back?
Well, I think if you're just starting this work and you're new to, questioning your thoughts in your mind, is to have like a notepad, and for the next week, just write down any limiting thoughts that you. And then when you actually have that written out in front of you, you can see more clearly what exactly you are perpetuating of patterns of thought. Because a lot of the time, we have like something like 70,000 thoughts a day or something crazy like that. So it's like, ones that we only are aware of are because we've patterned them enough. There's enough coding in them that our body and mind start to believe that this is the way that it is, right? So that would be the first thing, is to really get clear on what exactly you are believing and question, where did it come from? Did it come from my parents? Did it come from a teacher? Did it come... And then really get clear on that, because this start to take autonomy back of your life and your creator ability and your sovereignty, right? Because really, what kills us? Our thoughts kill us, right? Our thoughts are the beginning point of every illness, of every underlying discomfort, of any disconnect that we have. It all stems in our thoughts. And if we can create more space between the thought and, let's say, what you want, then there's more of a chance that that light can get in and you can actually change the trajectory of your manifestation. So say that you have a project and you're like, oh, this project is so hard. It's so difficult for me. I hate doing this. This is just so stressful. Da, da, da. Question that, because look at what energy you're putting into that thing, right? How can it manifest with something different than what you're saying right now? So we really have to get careful on the words that we're using and how we're using them. Even this idea, new level, new devil, I don't like that at all, because it's programming you to think that your next level is something that you should be fearful of, or something that is going to be difficult for you or challenging. Whereas you could just look at it as a progression of your expansion and say, okay, well, new level, me, I don't know.
I like that. I receive that.
That really get us caught up in our minds of thinking our words. Why do you think it's called spelling? We're literally casting spells with our words. So we have to be so careful in what we say to ourselves, even in the small things, because the small things are the big things, right? Because this is the way that we pattern our mind to work, and how we actually understand things in that way. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend that.
I love it. Yeah. And just, I've realized that more and more now. So I thank you for bringing that back to my attention, because like our words really do put out a frequency, put out an energy, like so powerful. And we have this opportunity, like, the fact that we can't even communicate and connect with our words. But it's just it's so powerful. And I realized that in all areas of my life, not only just how I talk to myself, how I talk to my team, how I lead, how I'm, the content I create, but also in my relationship now with Ashley, like in my love life, right? Like it's so important. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday, Ryan Holiday's. I don't know if you guys all listen to the Daily Stoic, and they were even talking about like how important it is to really recognize what you're saying, because when you have children too, because he has a child now, he was like, you can't take it back, and like one thing you can say to a child can like impact them for the rest of their life. And that's what we're almost talking about, right? A lot of times beliefs come from our parents, and we are the next generation of parents. We are the next generation of ancestors. So, you know, just being really conscious of our beliefs and our words and what we're saying to ourselves, because man, you just caught one with me. I've always said new levels, new devils.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're right, but my new belief is about expansion. So it's like, wow, how can I shift those things that I've always said, you know, into really aligning with what my belief really is, which is like fucking expansion, right? And just living in the quantum. So
Mm-hmm. And it's just those subtleties, right? Of frequency. It's easy to say things because they're just things that you hear, or, you know, it's just like, oh, hustle, you know, hustle this, do that. But it's like people don't realize how we all define words differently. So depending on your programming can have a different effect on how you actually translate that information. So if you think, oh, I have to be an entrepreneur, I have to hustle hard, I have to do all this work. It's not to say that being an entrepreneur is easy, but it's just the way in which you're looking at how you're actually going to achieve that. And making sure that you can do it, and that it is easy, and that you have the intelligence to create whatever it is that you want to create in that way. So just to be aware of.
I want to ask you just about your thoughts about like on just like I want to say like really manifesting in the quantum, right? Like we're hear a lot more about this now. I know you're a fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I've been reading him and just continue to learn. But for those who like don't necessarily understand the fact that we are these quantum beings, can you like just school us a little bit about like what that really means and the power that we really have from the moment we're born to really create in this realm of infinite possibilities?
Mm-hmm. So it's a huge loaded question. So I'm going to do my best to
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, well, why not? We're here. So I really like to start off by this understanding that we are energy beings. So at our core, we are oscillating in frequency as energy. So we are not actually physical beings. Like if you look on a very microscopic level, on an atomic level, it's just a bunch of frequencies oscillating at once. So we look like we are, you know, whole and like we can't break and all these things. But on a quantum level, that's actually not true. Nothing is actually solid. Everything is in constant motion. So when we talk about being a quantum creator, it's really being sovereign over your own life and not being programmed by the external world or by perceptions or judgments of what you feel like you should do, right? And it's really tapping into that source, that soul level that tells you, okay, Gerard, this is what we feel inspired to do. Go in this direction, right? Or go in this direction because this is what will help you in your next level. And the problem is that as quantum creators, we have free will. So we can choose any path that we desire to live out a certain experience. But what people don't understand is that there are so many different timelines to create from and experience from. And what I mean by timeline is that we each are living an individual reality. And a timeline is just a certain frequency of reality. So say that you want to shift out of a timeline of feeling lack of abundance, struggle, and all of that, right? In order to shift into that other timeline, you have to shift your energy, which then creates a different trajectory and momentum energetically with what you're looking to create, right? So a lot of people say like seeing is believing. It's actually believing is seeing. So you actually figure out, you know, what do you believe? That's what you're going to see. It really is as simple as that. So when you understand that you have access to your ability to make choices without any frequency or bombardment or manipulation, right? Media has a lot of manipulation. School is manipulating people to think a certain way. All of these ways that we've been groomed and programmed to be, when you start to plug out of that, really exiting the matrix, right? Taking that pill and saying, disconnecting from all the things that I've been told, who I am, what I do, what I'm here for, we then can start creating from that quantum place, which is of infinite possibility, which says I can do so many things that I can't even, you know, conceptualize right now because I am so expansive, because I am so quantum. I can have anything I want. But the problem is a lot of people don't believe that because they've been so programmed to think differently. They've been dumbed down. Their intelligence has been hijacked, right? Their thoughts have been hijacked. And what did I say? Our thoughts are the vehicle of what we create our lives to be, right? So if we're constantly feeling limited and in a certain dimension and frequency of thought, depending on what dimension you're oscillating in energetically, your life can either be full of flow and expansion and fun, or it can be really dense and difficult and disruptive. And it's really with those choices that you make every day. What choice am I going to make to have a certain level of thought? What frequency am I holding in my being? What am I doing to get myself more in alignment every day so that I can actually start to create from that infinite field of possibility, so that I can actually handpick and say, well, I want to meet this person and I want this to align, and just know that it is, right? Just know that it can exist and that it does have so much potential to manifest, because you are in that frequency of alignment and of flow, and knowing that reality can't exist any other way than what it is that you desire it to be.
Right. You know, one of the things that I when you talk about all of this, what I've realized in my life too is like, it really is a whole new way of life. It's not just as simple as like saying that you're going to believe it and all of a sudden just poof, you're going to manifest these things, right? Like it does take obviously action and going
Yeah.
out there, but I feel it's like a daily practice. Like it's like really, because I catch myself, Jenna, like still to this day, right? I've been an entrepreneur for 18 years, and even still I have days where like just this inner critic comes back up and the self-doubt kicks in, or, you know, I don't know, like whatever, just like I feel like that's the human aspect of us. Like we're still human no matter what, you know what I mean? And we're going to make mistakes. We're going to like, you know, things are going to pop back up. And I feel like sometimes that old operating system, even when you do upgrade, there's
Mm-hmm.
still sometimes things that are down
Yeah.
that are wounds, right? Like scars, like shit that you've been through, and it takes time to
Mm-hmm.
really get past all of that to manifest like at that next level of.
I definitely agree with that. And I think that, we came to this life experience. We chose to come here because we wanted to expand. We wanted to know what it felt like to have contrast and have those desires and then create something from it. If we just manifested everything we wanted, life would be boring. Think about it. Think about if everything you thought that you wanted happened right now, it would be, time allows us to create and play. That's why it's a game, right? So we can actually have fun with what are living in our lives. But the point of the work that I'm doing, that I'm encouraging people to really look into, is this idea that life does not have to be difficult. Life does not have to be a struggle.
Right.
Everything is a perception. So you can look at something and say, well, that's really difficult. I can't believe that happened, da, 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 and go down that path. Or you can say, okay, well, what is this reflecting back into my life? What belief is this showing me? How am I learning more about myself? Right? And
Yeah.
so really, it's just a perception shift. So it's not saying that the world or your problems or things aren't going to stop. But when you have autonomy over how you actually shift those things, and what your mindset is to receive
Yeah.
the
And
external environment, that's
yeah.
the game changer.
Yeah,
And
I fucking love that.
yeah, yeah,
I love that. And it's like, it really is like when you have that whole new lens of just realizing that everything really is for you, and I don't know, just embracing life with ease. Because like I feel like, you know, there's this concept that talk about the third mountain.
mm-hmm.
I'm in a container now where we're working on that third mountain, and it's like the first mountain for entrepreneurs. A lot of times, I saw Tony. He commented and he was like talking about, well, is it wrong to like want power in your 20s? And I'm like, shit, that was me. You know, like when I was in my 20s, like I wanted money, fame, sex. I wanted power. I wanted all the external things,
Mm-hmm.
and
All the things you were conditioned to believe
right.
of what you want, right? So
100%.
yeah.
And you know, you go out there and you push and you hustle, right? And you go out there and create those things. And a lot of times you'll get them, you know, like I got them. It didn't create happiness for me, but I mean, I sure as hell had a lot of fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it is what it is, and it was part of my path. But then you get to like the second mountain where like when you finally get the epitome, right? When I sold my company, and then you're like, okay, I really want to be making a difference in the world. I want to make an impact, right? You start thinking about your purpose beyond just that e-commerce store that's helping you make money. And you're like, I want to actually give back. I want to help. I want to leave a legacy, all those things. And then you're on that second mountain. But the thing is that even though you having that realization, you still have a lot of this old conditioning. So you're still hustling and pushing forward. And there's still this aspect of like, I don't know, it's like grind and needing recognition and pushing and
Yeah.
you know, and then I think there's this third mountain, which is what I feel a lot of your work helps a lot of us to accomplish, which is like finally going through life and flowing through life, like literally being at ease and allowing things to come to you, and you still are hustling. I'm not saying that you're still not like out there hustling, but it's no longer that feeling of like, you know, you're burning yourself out to try to like prove something to others, or you know, whether it's even if it feels good to do, like I'm trying to help others, you're really just at the point you're just like fully every day just in flow with life. It's just something that I feel is hard. You're just so it's hard, so it's kind of a little hard for me to explain. Maybe you can dive in a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
I think it's like when you reach a breaking point with life and you're like, I'm not going to keep resisting what is. That's really what it is, right? So life is happening and you can either resist it and you can fight against it, or you can say it should be another way. But when you've reached this next level awareness of saying, okay, well, everything's happening for me, you've already shifted to see reality through a different lens. When you start to say, okay, well, I recognize resistance is coming up. What can I do with this, right? And I think that that's where people start to take autonomy over their lives. And really, I think like that's one of the most important, if not the most important thing in this life, is to have sovereignty over your own energy, over your own thoughts, because then what happens? You start to create from you. You start to desire from your authentic nature, not from your program nature, right? Not to say that, you know, wanting cars and money and stuff is bad. I think those can exist. If that's your path and you like that, then who's to say that that's not what's meant for you, right? But I
Right.
think all this conditioning of like, what does it mean to be this, and what does it mean to be that, and how am I going to be seen in this way? But when we're really connected to that authenticity, when we really like stripped out a lot of those deep programs, which is what I help people do,
Yeah.
life can naturally become easier. You start to attract things come out of the blue, help is here when you need it all of a sudden, and all these synchronicities happen because now you're playing a game with you. The universe isn't playing with you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Totally. Yeah, you're playing with life. And I feel like, you know, it's autonomy, it's sovereignty, it's also like free, like true freedom. It's also ownership. Like you're really taking responsibility. Like I'm at the point now where like I just don't blame and I'm not blaming anything externally anymore. Like I'm like, oh, this happened, and I'm like, it's almost like fun for me to be like, oh, cool. Like where in this situation am I, you know, can I look at myself and really just look at like, okay, where am I maybe not trusting myself or loving myself a little bit more, respecting myself a little bit more, you know, where, you know, can I see how this situation happened because it's a reflection of how I'm treating or seeing and feeling about myself. And
yes.
that perspective shift has been a huge difference for me in everything, because now it's allowed me to have that autonomy and understanding that like I am the creator, right? Like I am the creator of my reality, and I can't blame anyone or anything for what's happening anymore. I can really just take ownership, and you know, that's just that perspective shift has been huge. So I want to take some questions, Jenna. Like two
Yeah.
questions from the crew. Let's see. So Inner Glow Getter says I was able to read it a little bit better. She says I feel a bit more on the side of infinite potential and can't seem to get momentum in taking action. And then she had put, I can't seem to get any discipline. I can't get the whole thing actually to follow through.
Okay, so like can't create any momentum to take action and follow through.
Yeah, and like have the discipline she was mentioning to like.
Right. So the word, we have such a negative connotation of this, right? Like when we're younger, it's taught what's right and wrong, right? As if where you are right now, right? I just reflect for a moment and think, well, okay, if I did actually take action, what am I afraid would happen? Right? Do I feel like I'm not ready enough? Do I feel like I'm going to be rejected? Do I feel what I have is not good enough for what I want? Do I have too high of a standard? Am I going to be judged? All of these things can create um, almost this paralyzation of our energy and our attention, because we think that everything needs to be perfect or we're going to be rejected on things. And these are very deep rooted beliefs. So anytime I see anyone really fearing to take action, that's generally a sign that there's a huge fear there, that has been under thread throughout their life, not just with this, right? I'm sure there are other instances in a person's life where you might feel more stressed and you can't take action in certain areas as you've grown up, right? So what is this thread? What is it teaching you? And so if we were to work together in a session, tap into the subconscious and really figure out what that belief is, what the emotions are that are trapped frequency, so that you can create more energetic space, and then that momentum can come from a natural, inspired.
Yeah, that's really dope. I think, Jenna, like that resonates with me deeply, right? Like for me, I struggled for some time of not wanting to disappoint others, so that could
Right.
cause me to be paralyzed in making decisions and taking action, because I always felt like, oh, I wasn't growing up. I ended up figuring out and tracking it all the way down to back growing up with my parents and not being good enough to get the good grades in school and get first string in sports, and feeling like a disappointment. And I've had to break through that.
Yeah.
So, I do agree. Again, like a lot of times, guys, it's having this new perspective shift. If you're not taking action or you're lacking discipline, really tracking down like what is that deep rooted problem? Because a lot of times we're so surface level, we stay on the surface on like why we're not taking action ever. But if we can get down to the root of why, what is the real fear, and you can switch that mindset and get to more of that possibility of like, okay, once I figure out and what that root of the problem is, and have compassion for that side of you, heal that side of you, and let go of that, and then get to the side of like, well, what if I take action, right? Like, what if I do this? Forget about it not working out or failing or disappointing. What the hell would it feel like to actually succeed, to actually like change someone's life, or to actually, create whatever it is that you're looking to create, and that's then you start getting to that new frequency and calling that in. So really powerful. Let's see here. Someone's asking, what are some of the best morning routines that you can apply some of this stuff? So like, Jenna, do you have like, what is your morning routine? What are some of the things that you recommend for us?
Yeah. So in terms of applying the the tools that I've just suggested here today, is in the morning, your subconscious is the most programmable, right? In the morning, right in the morning, and right when you go to bed. So if you can listen to something that is motivational or inspirational in the beginning of your day, right when you wake up, before you go on Instagram, before you do anything, let your brain be primed, right? You can even listen to affirmations on loop, and these things will start to create the momentum for your day. And with enough prolonged exposure, you start to actually embody those beliefs. You start to create that momentum. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is really write down what is it that you want to accomplish, and look at how you feel about that, seeing it on paper. Do you feel resistance to it? Do you feel worry about it? Do you feel anxiety? Like, what are the emotions that are coming? Clearly identify them, and then start to do something that is the opposite, that will allow you to move the needle just one inch, right, towards what it is that you want to do. My morning routines generally look like I do something called Kriya Yoga by Sadhguru. So I've gone through a lot of his initiation. So I do this Kriya Yoga every morning. It's about a 20-minute meditation. And that's how I start my day generally, and with a green juice. So
Love it.
clean heart. Just making sure that you give yourself that time. I know it's so easy to get up and just rush and do all these things, but really, if you're not priming yourself and giving yourself those, let's say 5, 10, 15 minutes in the morning for you, you're going to feel completely disconnected from yourself. And how will you be able to hear the inspiration and the thoughts that are coming through for you, for guidance and for information of what you need to do, right? So that's really important to
Yeah,
access.
guys, my morning routine is everything. Like my whole life changed when I started to actually take ownership of my morning routine.
Yeah.
And it's simple, guys. Like it doesn't need to be complicated, like just start small. You don't have to try to do over too much. Over time, I've compiled and done more. But I mean, I think the most important things is like first thing when you wake up, most important, don't freaking go on your phone.
Yeah.
Do not get down into the social media realm. Do not start looking at your messages and emails. Like, I have boundaries in my life where, like, I do not take any calls or get into social media before 9 in the morning. It's really important that you don't, because again, you're so programmable, right? Your mind's
Yeah.
so programmable. So, like, don't get on the phone, wake up, get a win under your belt. For me, it's making my bed. Maybe for you, it's having a glass of water or a juice or doing something, brushing your teeth, but get that like little win. And then I cannot brag enough about meditating. Start
Yeah.
off for 5 minutes, but we can get up to like 20 to 30 minutes and really just be in the silence, just relax, breathe, learn how to breathe. There's so many meditation apps. There's so many, there's so much content on, and also, you know, it's just so powerful. There's so many things that you can do. And so meditate, journal, if you can, get in some exercise.
Underrated.
What'd you say?
Gratitude. I feel,
Right.
but you know, I'm not one of those people that write down the things that I'm grateful for. How I like to express my gratitude is I like to have my hand on my heart. I like to just visualize and really get in touch with that emotion of gratitude as I'm focusing on something in my life that I'm grateful for. And also a subconscious hack that you can do. So the subconscious doesn't know if it's in the past, present, or future. It just exists. So it completely has all the information that ever was that you've ever experienced, and it creates patterns of that. So what you can do to actually trick it or program it is in the mornings, what I like to do as well, after I have my juice and everything, is say 5 things that I'm grateful for that have not happened, and really get that feeling of, oh my, grateful. Oh my God, things. And what this is doing is it's creating this frequency and this information in your subconscious. Oh, this is real. This is it. So you can start priming yourself by using the goals that you achieve, as if they've already happened, and really
I
start
love
to
that.
embrace that energy and what's generating as a frequency of light within you through that gratitude that will allow you to manifest
I
more.
absolutely love that. Yeah, you gotta, like, I live in a state of gratitude. You gotta just, you know, practice that gratitude in the morning. Practice appreciation as well. Like, it feels so good to, you know, every day reach out to, you know, I try to do 3 people a day, but at least 1 person a day. Guys, reach out to people and tell them how you appreciate them. And I really liked how you brought in the visualization, Jenna, because that's been really powerful for me. Like, when I meditate now, like, I always think about, how do I want to feel today? Right? Whether it's the first thing I asked all of you is, for those of you that were here with me in the beginning, I asked you all to comment 1 word of how you're feeling. And you guys had so many powerful words: anointed, inspired, you know, ecstatic,
I love that.
clarity. You had all these amazing, powerful words. And I think that's like one of the things you can do too in your meditation, is like just really think about, like, how do I want to feel today? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to feel these 3 words, and you get excited about that, right? And then you can also just start visualizing what you're going to do, what you're going to achieve, what you're going to create. And just, I find that I've always done that, and it's helped me so much, especially even when I have a speaking engagement. Like, that before I have a speaking engagement, I have to go on stage, and so much anxiety. But like, I just, the night before and the morning of, like, I'm envisioning what I'm going to feel like on that stage, and how I'm
Yeah.
going to, what it's going to be like. And that's just, it's really, really powerful. So Jenna, thank you so much. Can you tell everybody, like, what do you got going on? How can they find you? How can they work with you?
Yeah, for sure. So people generally work with me in a 4 to 8 week container. So I feel like it's important to dive deep and not just kind of hit the surface, even though one-on-one sessions are really powerful. I've just found that going and the tools that it's easier to do that. So, I'm currently so if you're interested in working with me, then you can shoot me a DM, or my website is in the link in my bio. You can contact me there. I have something called
What's the website, Jenna?
it's belief.com.
Say it one more time.
It's beyondthebelief.com.
Okay, guys, go to beyondthebelief.com. All right,
Yeah.
beyondthebelief.com. Beyondthebelief.com. And then, and then they can DM you. And then are you still doing? So you have 4 to 8 week containers. I know you have one that's coming out really soon. And then today you just started. Did you start something today? I think you also started your new upgrades today, right? What about what are the upgrades?
Yeah, so I just something called the upgrades. So the upgrades basically are distant quantum upgrading and healing of your energetic being. So what this is I basically am able to tap into the collective group of everyone who has joined, and I basically am able to shift frequencies distantly. So as we mentioned before, energy is quantum. We can tap into it with the right tools if we know how to do that. So that's one of the things that I do. So it's a really easy way to do the inner work, to move through your shadows, but in a very effortless way. So I do the healing, and then you get an integration email with meditations, journal prompts, actions that you can take for the rest of the week. And this month we're focusing completely on the heart chakra and opening that up, clearing any past life, ancestral traumas, opening up more self-worth and more clarity and vision for your future. Because I know a lot of people are confused with what's going on right now and where they fall in this mix, in this reality.
Love it. Guys, I have personally worked with Jenna, and I can't speak more highly. You know how I don't bring people on my live and take time to really, unless I like really know that they have done the work themselves, that they truly can create transformation. Jenna is one of the best in the world at what she does. It is, there's no investment, there's no price that you can pay to do that it's worth for the work that you're doing on yourself. Like it's life-changing work. It's
Mhm.
priceless. It really is priceless. She has helped change my life and work with me on things that like I had deep in my shadow, like deep shadow work. And we need at all different levels, whether you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what level you're at. Like this is just work that, is so important for us because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, a lot of times we just don't know what we don't know. We don't even know where these things are coming from. So to have someone that can really work through this, and Jen has been doing this for, similar to me, I've been an entrepreneur for 18 years, and Jen has been doing this for I think close to 18 years, or like similarly, right?
Similar.
Yeah, we've been in the game for a minute. So
Here.
guys, definitely take advantage because she also doesn't. It's not always open. She's not always. She's so particular with her energy and when she can open up these opportunities because there's only so much of a container she can hold. Because truth be told, I mean, she, it'd be amazing if she could just like work with thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people at once. But it's very particular when she opens up these containers, and it's for a certain amount of people. So I would highly, highly recommend, guys, that you go to beyondthebelief.com right now, right after this live, and just check it out. Like, look into it, apply, see if it's something that feels aligned for you.
Yeah.
Send her a DM and connect with her. It's worth the conversation. It's worth you exploring it. And for the price, it's ridiculous for the price. It's life changing. So check it out, Jenna. Thank you so much for being on here, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your trip here in LA, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Cool. See ya. Thanks, guys, for joining. Thanks for being on the live with me. I appreciate it. I wish you guys an amazing rest of your Tuesday and of your week. I have a cool announcement I'm going to drop on my timeline, something that I've created. So stay tuned for that. And do me a favor and go send some love to Jenna. Go follow her. Go comment on her pics. Go to beyondthebelief.com. It is something that I've done, and I highly recommend it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the week. Peace.